Game on.
Hey there, game gurus. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my Viper standalone kit you can get from tSticks.com. It's a single board computer for about $39. And let's see what we're going to get in the kit. So this is what will arrive. So this is what you're going to get in your little kit. Your GRS Viper with a little nice little Viper logo we came up with. And of course, tSticks.com. But you know that already because you ordered a Viper, right? So you had to have gone there to get it. But we're not going to include any paper manuals. We're trying to get the cost and keep the cost as low as possible, and always keep the information as up to date as possible. So right on the top here, we have three separate QR codes. Just take your cell phone. You're going to scan each one of these for different manuals. So I'll go through them really quick right now. So the first one here is your basic setup guide. So if I go over here, I'll pull up my my browser window here, and you can see it's just going to give you it's a quick start, just a basic information about the Viper. Different features about it, how you can do certain things. Very, very basic information. And again, I'll put links down to each one of these down below. And again, we'll be updating these, and I'll tell you why as the video goes on. So this is just your basic guide. When you scan the next one, the user manual, this will give you more information about the Viper and what comes with it. Now, when we wrote this particular manual, the GRS Viper was going to come with Batocera version 38. And we will still offer Batocera 38 if you guys want to have it. But to be quite honest, we're going to be shipping this now with R-Cade. And the R-Cade team will be coming on Kicking Old School, an upcoming video relative, I think, next Friday, actually. So that'll be much more feature-rich than Batocera, but we'll have to update this manual. But initially, this is going to go over here. And there's other things it talks about, the different buttons that are on the Viper. There's still a lot of good information in here. It tells you all the different features and functionalities about the Viper. But it does go into Batocera as well, and how you can load ROMs and the GPO pins. There's a lot of information in here, but again, we're really going to be pushing more R-Cade over Batocera because I think that's a better way for the Viper to go. It's a much more feature-rich OS for us than Batocera. And then the last one here is the Build-A-Cade Viper. So we pick up this one right here. This will show you how you could take your Viper and actually install it in your GRS Build-A-Cade. And originally, that's what this was designed for. Of course, the Viper ecosystem is going to expand a lot past that, including other versions of Viper, because the Viper is always designed to be an expandable ecosystem. But that was the original thought. This was started really back during COVID when Raspberry Pis were hard to get hold of. That's when this project started, but we're a small team and it's taken us this long to get this far. We always think about things, we'll get it done, but there's so many steps to make sure it comes out right for you guys, so it took a lot longer. But we'll go through this part a little bit later, also in the video about these parts, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So let me pop this off screen right now, and let me just show you what you're going to get with this kit. So of course, you get this really nice case, which is not the big a deal, but when you open up the case itself, you'll see a couple things you do get in here. You're going to pop this thing open like so. There we go. So first thing, we get a nice Viper decal you can put on your project or wherever you want. It's a nice like metal style logo for the Viper. And of course, I always have to have my logo in as well. So there's Cole, myself, and Blue, the Glenn's Retro Show logo. So you have two nice decals you can put anywhere or not use at all. But I'll leave that up to you guys. It's kind of like holographic. It's not really holographic, but it's very shiny, which is very nice. All right, enough about decals. Another thing we do include is a micro SD card. Now, on this micro SD card, depending on how we finalize things, it really should be coming with the R-Cade installer, which is, again, still a Linux build, but it's a 32 gigabyte micro SD card here. And originally was to come with Batocera, but I think R-Cade will be on here. Put this in your machine, and it's going to update your machine. Or we may have already flashed your internal firmware, and it's just an empty SD card. In any case, you can use this with what you will. You can put your ROMs on here. You can use it in your camera. We still include the SD card because that was the original way we were going to ship the Viper anyway. We do include a very small Phillips head screwdriver, and it's blue, and a load of my little dog Blue. It's a blue color, and a couple of screws. They may need to to mount it to your project. So that's included. We also include here a Bluetooth and a Wi-Fi antenna. This will clip on to the SBC itself, and of course, that's how you access the Viper. It's going to be over Wi-Fi. We do not include an Ethernet port. Again, it makes it more bulky, and most people don't really connect that way. There's other ways to load ROMs, but probably the easiest way will be this way, or just put it on a micro SD card and you can load them that way. The final thing we're going to have in the package, obviously, is your Viper itself. If I can get it out of the package here. Here we go. And it is in a static sealed enclosure. You can see right here. So I'll slide this down a little bit. just so I can get to the part where I can rip this. Get down there. We'll just tear this as best we can. There we go. And then we can pull our Viper out. So this is what you're going to get in your initial kit. You'll have a nice plastic case, a couple of decals, an antenna, an SD card, a little Phillips head screwdriver that's blue, because blue is blue, obviously, some screws, and obviously your actual Viper itself. And that's this guy right here. And this is, let me turn this that's upside down, put it the right way. There we go. So this is based off the Rockchip R-Cade 3566, which has a pretty good GPU in there. I would say pretty much some Dreamcast games and prior for the most part, although it does play PSP games. It's been pretty well optimized for the PSP, so that'll work fairly well as well. We have two standard USB 2.0 ports over here, and we have one USB 3.0 port. We have a mini or micro HDMI connector here. USB-C, which you can use to power the Viper. You can also connect it to your PC to load ROMs over that, or just do firmware upgrades, things along those lines. We do HDMI out obviously has audio, but we do include a separate 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for multiple reasons. Maybe you want to put it through more powerful speakers than you have in your TV set or your project, and you can then pump sound out that way. We have a DSI connector right here for the displays like what's in the current Build-A-Cade. We use a DSI display. It is IPS. That'll connect over here. And then over here, we have a 12 volt. So you may have a 12 volt power supply, and you may have a lot of things coming off the USB port. So 5 volts may not be sufficient. So you can power your Viper with 12 volts, and that'll make sure you have sufficient power for your devices. Or you can use a powered USB hub like we have in the R-Cade KVM switch. Now, this also includes 32 gigabytes of onboard storage. So Batocera or R-Cade will be installed on the onboard flash. That still gives about 30 gigabytes of storage that you can use to load games. I say 30 gigabytes because you want to leave like a gigabyte at least for swap files, stuff like that when you're playing games. But of course, if you need more than 32 gigabytes, you can obviously use a large micro SD card slot or cards for that. And we have the slot for that right down here. Or, of course, you can use USB and put, a 2 terabyte hard drive or something like that. As long as the format is FAT32, they should be recognized okay. We have a bunch of buttons on here. This one right here is a reset. It's a hard reset. You press that, halts the processor, reboots the machine. This is for firmware upgrades. Some firmware upgrades may require you to press this button to do it. Others may just be putting a micro SD card in and booting up the machine. And this one here is another button to help with putting the processor in a state for firmware. Just different ways of loading firmware onto the machine. And of course, we have these 40 GPIO pins here, similar to a Raspberry Pi. Mostly it's used for the Build-A-Cade. However, you could connect other standard joysticks to that if you didn't want to use like a zero delay encoder on USB, if you don't want to type a USB port. Of course, we do support Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on this as well. But but that's really it. For $39, this is kind of what you're going to get. You're going to get your main machine, antenna, micro SD card, a little screwdriver, blue for blue, some screws, a couple of decals, and a nice box. Now, the Viper doesn't necessarily need cooling. Of course, it never hurts to cool. You can purchase a fan. I usually go out and I buy these little things here, which got a bunch of different little heat sinks on it, and you can put heat sinks on this. If you wanted to, just find a heat sink that kind of fits, and throw it on there. Here's one that should fit. You can put these on over here, but it's not really necessary for the Viper if you didn't want to do this, because the Viper itself, it does run a little warm, but not overly hot. But again, you could do this or not. We'll leave it up to you guys. These are, I think I paid like $6 for all of these heat sinks. It wasn't very expensive. But it's just something, it's an option if you guys want to put that on there. And we'll put a link on the website or for a fan if you do want to purchase a fan. That'll use 5 volts from over here and in here right on there. But for the most part, that's what you're going to get. Now, I did show the thing over here for the Build-A-Cade. I'll pull this back up here again. So the Build-A-Cade was designed to use a Raspberry Pi. And the Raspberry Pi connectors are slightly different than we have on the Viper. Now, people are like, why even bother with the Viper? The Viper, we are designing this and moving forward with it and its children, if you will, to be really focused, laser focused for retro gaming. A Raspberry Pi is for retro gaming, but it's used for lots of other things as well. And at times they can be hard to get, and they're not always fully optimized for the processor because there's so many different things it's used for. We want the Viper and its line to be laser focused for retro gaming and the retro gaming community. So we're going to make sure these things are optimized as most efficiently as possible for retro gaming, but also with R-Cade on here, we're going to make sure if we take a GRS Sinden Target Pro or a Sinden light gun, you connect it, it's just going to work. If you connect the GRS Star Wars Flight Yoke, you connect it, it's just going to work. If you plug in a GRS spinner or a trackball, you're going to connect it, it's just going to work. You plug in our Akari stick, it's just going to work. So I think you're kind of understanding where I'm going with this. A lot of times people buy Raspberry Pi and they plug these things in, and there's all these setup headaches. They're very hard to use unless you know what you're doing. You put questions out to the groups and they get annoyed, like just go search for it. You search for it, you can't find it. We want this to be easy. We want you to be able to connect hardware, especially stuff in our ecosystem. We're going to be expanding our stuff, connect and go. Now, if there's other third parties that have things that they may want to work with us, just reach out and we'll see if we can work with you on it as well. We want this really to be a kind of a plug and play, ease of use solution. Another good thing about the R-Cade on the Viper is there is a license agreement you have to accept. Obviously, if you have to accept it, if you don't accept it, you can't use R-Cade. But if you do accept it, there's a lot of cool features that are going to be on here. If you need to be able to easily get games on the machine, there will literally be an option in the menu. As long as you accept the agreement and you do have legal right to the ROMs, you could download the games to it. We have a bunch of emulators set up on here where you can do net play, and that's peer-to-peer, meaning there's no server on the cloud. That's necessary. Of course, that you could do that, but it's set up where you set up a little server on this Viper directly, and you invite your friends. You want to play 2, 3, or 4 player Ninja Turtles? Well, set it up on here, add them to have them connect, open a port in your firewall, and you can play. You don't have to worry about someone showing up a server on you guys later on down the road. It'll be all built in right here. We also support Moonlight, and Moonlight is a streaming platform. You want to stream Steam to your Viper? You want to stream your PC games to your Viper to your machine? Well, you will be able to do that with this as well. That's all built in already, and we'll have guides and tutorials on that as well. I would definitely suggest watching and looking out for and subscribing to the channel. So when I have the R-Cade team, which I think is going to be on next Friday, you don't miss it. And you can actually ask questions if you have any questions about the Viper as well. But to me, going real quick, I kind of sidetracked myself over here with the Build-A-Cade. So in addition to this, if you want it to work in the Build-A-Cade, there are some additional parts you would need. So we actually have a kit for that. So when you buy the Build-A-Cade Viper kit, you will get a new two things. You get a new cable system right here. So there's a harness that came with the Build-A-Cade for the Pi. This is a similar harness, but it's designed for the Viper to connect to the Build-A-Cade. And we also include, some people weren't happy with, I like the screws in the back myself. I don't like these big knobs on the back, but this lets you to easy open, close the Build-A-Cade back. Some people requested it, so we'll include that as well. Now, the Build-A-Cade, and when it was designed for the Raspberry Pi, mounted a little bit differently. So we include these little mount points that'll help you connect your Viper to the Build-A-Cade screens. That's what this is here, a little mounting kit with screws. We have slightly different standoffs, if you will. There's some nylon ones that we require now with the Build-A-Cade, and the Viper will include that in that kit. Now this is the cable. So this cable will go to the DSI display, which is an IPS display on your Build-A-Cade, and this will connect to our connector right here for the Viper. So we will include 2 of these in case something happens to one. We include 2 of these in the kit. Another thing we do include is an extra antenna, just because, well, why not? We like including extra parts so people always have a spare if they need it. And last but not least, we include an OTG cable, so you'll be able to, especially with the Batacera build, much of it's really be necessary with the R-Cade build, but it'll let you connect this to the connector here, the USB-C. You can power your Viper through the machine. We can connect this right here, and you can still connect and load ROMs over that way. So that's really it. So this is the basic Viper kit right here. Move these things out of the way a little bit. Get them out of the way. This right here, this U, is your basic Viper kit. Let me get this little screen off here as well. Manual. Bloop. This will be your basic Viper kit right here. For $39.99, this is what you'll get. And then if you have a Build-A-Cade, get this. So in the future, we will be including the Viper with the Build-A-Cades. That's the ultimate goal. Just buy the one kit. You don't have to look for anything else. Everything will be in the kit. So all this will be not necessary. However, if you did purchase our Build-A-Cade kits and you do want to get a Viper and you already had a Pi, you want to take the Pi out and use it for something else, you could get this other kit here to do that. But that's it for this video. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. It really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. It takes 1 second for you, but it really does mean a lot to me. And if you're not currently a subscriber, we still have a lot of projects coming down the pipeline. A lot of new things coming out. I don't want you guys to miss it. And the best way for you guys not to miss it is to be subscribed to Glenn's Retro Show. So please hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate that as well. And that's it for today's video. So I do appreciate you taking time to watch it, and I hope you guys have a great day. And just remember, take a moment out of every day to thank a friend or family member and let them know how important they are. Tomorrow is never promised. But in between those times, go to tSticks and get your pre-order in for a GRS Viper, and then you can game on.
On the ground, climb up the ladder quickly and then send yourself
looking for that arcade experience at home, but you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds, then you need the GRS Build-A-Cade. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The GRS Build-A-Cade is a very simple, easy to assemble, 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your GRS Build-A-Cade look like the machine of your dreams. The GRS Build-A-Cade is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. GRS Build-A-Cade.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
I just love talking to the vendors because we're supporting real people here. You know, these are people's passion projects. These are people's companies. These are the things that we pour our life into to share with others. So it's really beautiful to see. It's really beautiful to see. And one thing that I really want to show you over here, let's take a look at these mini cabs. Because last night I was playing them. I was blown away. These cabinets are amazing. I have got to show you my favorite one, which is right here, Robotron. This one is incredible. Although I love NBA Jam, I love Mortal Kombat, Donkey Kong Jr., Arkanoid. This is fun with the paddle. All of these buttons work. So you actually press the button to put the coin in, and then you press start. I'm telling you, this is like the authentic mini experience. So, and then the game starts up, and then you play. Look at this. And then you can customize this. There's so many amazing things that you can customize with this. And there's like stuff on the back. You can put a controller. It comes with a racing wheel. There's the roller ball attachment. You've even got mini guns. Like if you're playing a light gun game. I mean, it's got it all. It's got it all. It's really incredible. This is a really amazing machine. Hey, does anybody want to chat for a second about these amazing machines here? I mean, it's totally cool.
I can try and get my dad here. I just texted him.
Yeah, you just texted him? We'll come back. We'll come back. But it's actually, if you look at the back of the badge, they're on the back of the badge. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your booth or the name of your company?
So we're here with Glenn's Retro Show.
Okay.
We make new controllers for older games.
New controllers for older games. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And I really, really love all of these arcades here. I gotta say, Star Trek is also one of my favorites too. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.